3 Tuesday, news from the People's Skills and Management Institute Communication Network. This is Mia Basi and you are watching ARM Daily Newscast. For the headlines, Negros Oriental African swine fever outbreak has caused significant damage to the swine industry of the province. Newly installed Negros Oriental Governor Manuel Chaco Sagarbarria takes oath at the Legislative Building in Dumaguete City. Philippines, no let-up in drug war under Marcos. The ultimate multimedia superstar Tony Gonzaga announced the second pregnancy and shared a beautiful baby shower. War in Ukraine drags to the second year. Russia isolated in United Nations vote. Weather update for Negros Oriental. One nation, one community, one land. Good morning, Philippines. Today's first news report is about the African swine fever outbreak causing the significant damage on the swine industry of Negros Oriental province. The outbreak of African swine fever was first detected in Dawin, Negros Oriental and has spread throughout the several municipalities of Negros Oriental. The Department of Agriculture has declared a state of emergency in affected areas and imposed strict biosecurity measures to contain the spread of the disease. Following the outbreak, thousands of pigs were killed, resulting in a significant economic loss for small-scale hog raising in affected parts of the province. The African swine fever virus is up to 100% mortality rate, and modeling of the economic impact of the disease made by the pork prices increased by 17 to 85%, causing both the significant financial and ethical impact. War in Ukraine drags into second year. Russia isolated for the United Nations vote. For more details, Marinette Muzman for the report.
Good morning. War in Ukraine drags into second year. Russia isolated in UN vote. The war in Ukraine entered its second year with no end in sight, and Russia isolated at the United Nations in a vote demanding its forces withdraw. While G7 leaders are set to coordinate more support for Ukraine on Friday. As fighting raged on in Ukraine's east and south, Kyiv's allies around the world showed their support on the first anniversary of Russia's invasion on February 4. Paris lit up the Eiffel Tower in Ukraine flag colors of blue and yellow, and people draped in Ukrainian flags gathered at a vigil in London. In Brussels, European Union buildings were similarly lit up in those colors. The United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly adopted a resolution on Thursday marking the war's anniversary and demanding Moscow pull out and stop fighting. There were 141 votes in favor and 32 abstentions. 6 countries joined Russia to vote no: Belarus, North Korea, Eritrea, Mali, Nicaragua, and Syria. Russia's close ally, China, abstained on the UN vote. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky posted on Twitter, "This resolution is a powerful signal of unflagging global support for Ukraine." On the battlefield, the Ukraine military reported increased Russian activity in the east and south as the anniversary approached, with at least 25 towns and villages in 3 northern regions along the Russian border under fire. Reuters was not able to verify battlefield reports. Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered a fierce defense and military blunders that embarrass Moscow. Ukraine had success with counteroffensive in late 2022 to grab back much of the territory it's lost early on. Russia now controls around a fifth Ukraine. This is Marinette Muzman reporting.
Philippines, no let-up drug war under Marcos. For political update, Ira Sedeni for the report.
Thank you, Mia. For our political report, Filipino lit up in drug war under Marcos. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., since taking the office in 2022, has not ended the Philippine government war on drug, which has resulted in the deaths of 1,000 people. Human Rights Watch said today in its report 2023, Marcos should publicly order the national police to end their deadly anti-drug raids as part of the express commitment to shift focus to the rehabilitation of drug users. In 712-page World Report 2023, its 33rd edition, Human Rights Watch review human rights practices in close to 100 countries. In her introductory essay, Acting Executive Director Tirana Hassan says that in a world in which power has shifted, it is also no longer possible to rely on a small group of mostly global North government to defend human rights. The world's mobilization around Russia's war in Ukraine reminds us of the extraordinary potential when governments realize their human rights obligation on a global scale. The responsibility on the individual countries, big and small, apply human rights framework to their policies and work together to protect and promote human rights. Since 2016, the Philippine police have admitted their involvement in the deaths of more than 6,200 people in drug raids across the country. In a 2020 report, the United Nations Office, the Right of Commissioner of Human Rights, reported 6,663 deaths have occurred in the drug war. The Human Rights Commission of the Philippines and Domestic Human Rights Group reported deaths of tools that are 2-3 times higher than UN figure. The Office of the Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court in May 2021 filed a request to open the investigation to whether crimes against humanity have been committed during the Philippine anti-drug campaign. And that's the update for our political report and under anti-drug. Back to you, Mia.
The ultimate multimedia superstar Tony Gonzaga announced her second pregnancy and shared her beautiful baby shower. For more details, here is our Chika Mid star, Miriam Silangan. Ms. Miriam?
Yes, Mia, Tony Gonzaga announced her second pregnancy. Tony is pregnant with her second child with her husband, Presidential Advisor for Creative Communication, Paul Soriano. On her Instagram account, Tony shared the beautiful baby shower to receive from friends Camille Villar, Emeline Agtipay Villar, Chi Oy, Marian Padilla, and her sister Cathy Gonzaga and sister-in-law Winnie Wong. In the video, Tony can be seen greeting her guests, which include First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos, Presidential son Ilocos Congressman Sandro Marcos, and Senator Loring Ligarda. The 39-year-old actress Bibi Bump is also noticeable in her pink, flowy dress. Tony said, "So thankful to our family and friends who celebrated with us in these new blessings." Tony tied the knot with Paul in June 2015 and welcomed their first child, Severiano Elliot, in October 2016. That's our latest showbiz news update for today. This is Marian reporting.
Newly installed Negros Oriental Manuel Chaco Sagabarria takes oath at the Legislative Building in Dumaguete City. For more information, Marnath Guzman has the news. Marnath?
Smile ko. Thanks, Mia. Vice Governor Manuel Chaco Sagabarria officially took his oath as the new governor of Negros Oriental on Wednesday after the demise of Governor Carlo George Reyes. Sagabarria took his oath before Negros Oriental Executive Judge Gerardo Baguio at the Sangguniang Panlalawigan Session Hall at the Legislative Building, this capital city. In attendance were members of the Provincial Board, capital officials, staff, and Sagabarria's family. Provincial Director Farah Gintuya of Department of the Interior and Local Government, Negros Oriental, said Member Jake Reyes would become the next Vice Governor, replacing Sagabarria under the rules of succession. Meanwhile, the two vacancies in the Provincial Board will have to be filled up by the political parties of Sagabarria and Reyes, Gintuya said. The new governor said he has big shoes to fill after the death of Reyes, who was installed almost 3 months ago or shortly after the killing of Governor Roel Digamo in March. Sagabarria was elected board of member of the 2nd District in the May 9, 2022 elections and became vice governor after the position was vacated by Reyes. The new governor has ordered the flying of the Philippine flags at half-mast in honor of the late Reyes. Marinette Musman reporting.
Good morning and welcome to today's weather update. As we begin, let's take a look at the current conditions across our region. As of June 13, 2023, the Visayas region is experiencing partly cloudy to cloudy sky with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in some areas. These conditions are expected to persist throughout the day, with temperatures ranging around from 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. According to the latest weather data, the Visayas region can expect an increase in precipitation levels today due to isolated thunderstorms. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration advises the public to remain vigilant and take necessary precautions against flash floods and landslides that may occur in areas prone to such hazards. In Central Visayas, particularly in mountainous and low-lying areas, there is a possibility of moderate to heavy rainfall, while areas in Eastern Visayas may experience strong winds and rough seas due to the enhanced southwest monsoon bringing in more moisture. Negros Province is expected to experience mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, with intermittent rain showers forecasted in some areas. Residents are advised to take necessary precautions and stay updated on the latest weather developments, especially those living in the flood-prone or landslide-prone areas. However, based on current data and analysis, we can expect Negros Oriental to experience an average precipitation level for this time of year. It is important for residents and visitors alike to stay informed and take necessary precautions during periods of inclement weather. Additionally, it is always a good idea to have an emergency preparedness plan in case of unexpected weather events. That concludes today's weather update for Negros Oriental. Please stay tuned for further updates and have a safe and enjoyable day. This is Riza Macari reporting.
Those were the news of truth and accuracy. We didn't just secure freedom, we defend what people deserve. Once again, I'm Mia Basi, delivering news from worldwide toward one united direction. This is ARMM Daily Newscast. Thank you for being with us.